Hey out there and welcome. I'm Kate and I'm here today with a peace and quiet practice. This one's a slow mover to get you comfortable and into a quiet headspace. I don't know about you, but it is hard to come by around here. So let's do our best. Grab your mat, a couple of blocks, a blanket if you want it. What else can we grab? Some comfortable clothing, a warm cup of cozy, and I'll see you in a few. Okay, so we're gonna start on our backs. So go ahead and lay down. If you wanna snag that blanket, put it underneath your knees or underneath your head, you can. If your low back is feeling tight and tender right now, keep your feet flat on the mat, keep them wide, let your knees knock in toward each other, palms up or down, and just take a few moments and start to settle into your breath. To give yourself permission here to slow down and to begin the process of cultivating the peace and quiet. Just let your breath move here. However it is right now in this moment, don't need to change it or to alter it or anything at all. Just enjoy your breath. This moment here. Take another breath in. And when you exhale, you're going to draw your knees in, take them wide, and bring them in toward your armpits. And feel the center of the back of your head release down. Feel your shoulder blades settle into the floor. And then lengthen your tailbone toward the front of your mat. You could iron out the length of your spine here. And you can stay right here. You can slide your hands behind your knees. Work the soles of your feet up, or you can come into a happy baby. I know it's early, so if you need to be more gentle, then please be more gentle. And let yourself rock a little bit side to side. That's it, and then you're gonna bring your knees together. Roll to your right side and press yourself up using the strength of your arms. Come on into table. With your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We're gonna roll through a couple of rounds of cat and cow just to get that connection, breath and movement. Most likely you're familiar with this, but you wanna inhale and arch your back, take your gaze up gently. And when you exhale, you're gonna round and curl in. Go for a couple more of those. Don't worry too much if you get confused with the breath or they get switched or flip-flopped. It's all good. We're just breathing and moving. Moving and breathing. One more. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. And then at the end of that exhale, you're gonna come back to your neutral spine and you're gonna take your right leg and kick it straight back behind you to start and push through your heel. Engage your abdominal muscles and you float that right leg up and you're gonna bend your right knee and just do some circles in that right hip. And just notice what's going on the left side. You don't want to drop out too far to the side. Try to keep the stability in that left outer hip as well. And then make some circles in the other direction. That's it. And then you're going to take this right knee, draw it gently in toward you, and then sweep it open to the side for a hydrant pose. So it ends up looking like this. We'll go this way for a second. Right? And then let that knee drop a little bit and then lift it back up. And let the knee drop and lift it back up. I know this is not peaceful or quiet, but just a little hip mobility. We're gonna lift it up and then kick it out And then set the right foot down. Instep comes first, and then push through the outer edge, the pinky toe edge of that foot. And we're gonna try to find some square hips here, right? Which is a little hard to do when your legs are asymmetrical, but that's okay. You're gonna walk your hands forward, maybe 1 or 2 hands distance. Roll your triceps in, and then just pull your hips back. Come into a little funky puppy pose here. Shoulder blades draw down. Sink your chest, you can shake out your head. That's it. And then walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. You're gonna take your left arm out and then thread underneath. So we're gonna do our thread the needle, reaching those left fingertips toward your right foot. And keep your right hand right in front of your nose so your right elbow is bent, and roll back. So your right shoulder works to stack a little bit more. If the floor feels like it's super far away and you're kind of up off it, you can grab your blanket or a towel, throw it underneath your shoulder, underneath your head, make this more comfortable. Take another breath. Then you're gonna press into that right hand and take your left hand out. So we end up back here. Right leg is still gonna be out to the side. And then tuck your left toes under, and you're gonna roll onto the heel of your right foot and just take your weight back into your left. So we get a nice foot stretch, a nice toe stretch. I mean, nice might not be the word, but I'm gonna use it. And then bend this right knee, pull your heel in so you're in a lunge, but you're kind of at the angle here. Right forearm's gonna come to that right thigh, and you're just gonna come upright and just kind of rock over to the right. And then sink your hips back, straighten the leg. We're gonna do that again. Bend your knee, pull your heel in. You can place your forearm or keep your hands on the floor, that works too, and just shift your weight over to the right. And then one more time, sink the hips, stretch it out. And you're gonna come all the way up. Here we go. Staying on that heel, right? You're gonna take your right hand to your right thigh, left arm reaches up, inhale. And when you exhale, reach yourself out and over. Keep your tailbone tucked, keep your core strong, and breathe. Yes. And you're gonna float this left hand up and then over, and it's gonna come outside, fingertips pointing, away from you. And then you're gonna drop the toes on this right foot. We're gonna come into this modified side plank. Pinky toe edge of the right foot's glued. Take your right arm up and over to start. So now we're looking like this, right? And then from here, you're gonna shift forward. So your left shoulder stacks on top of your wrist and float the right leg up. And you can flex the foot. And if your foot comes an inch off the floor, then call it a win. If you can move it a little bit higher, then you can call that a win, right? And now from here, you're gonna draw this right knee into your chest. You can grab a hold of it, and then you're gonna step the right foot forward and walk your hands forward, sink your hips, lift your chest, come into your lunge. Inhale. And when you exhale, you're gonna drag the hips back, work on your Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, rock it forward, sink your hips, lift your chest. Exhale, rock back. Find your splits. Blocks here are always a great idea. Rock forward. Mine are just too far away. Why are they way back there? And one more time, we're gonna rock back because I'm bad at prep. It's all right. And then rock it forward again. You're gonna tuck the back toes under if they aren't already tucked, and just step your left foot to meet your right to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Soften your knees if there's strain anywhere through your legs or your back. And inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands and walk your feet back into a downward facing dog. Then take a moment here. Spread your fingers, press forward and down through your hands, and pedal it out. Side to side. Again, you can slowly shake your head if there's any gathered tension at your neck. All right, and then slowly you're gonna drop your knees to the mat. Here we go, you're gonna take the left foot back, tuck your toes, push through your heel. Give yourself a second here. Then core strong, shoulders over your wrists. Float this left leg up, and you're gonna bend your knee and just work circles. And then in the other direction. There we go. That's it. And you're gonna let this thigh hover for a second and then sweep it out to the side. This is the hardest part of the class. And then let it drop back in. Then sweep it up and out to the side for hydrant. And then down. And lift it one more time. And kick it out. And then let your foot drop. Glue down through the pinky toe edge. Try to find square in the hips. Just try to stack this right hip on top of the knee. And walk your hands forward, spread your fingers, triceps roll in, drag your hips back. Take a second here. Heads of your arm bones plug deep into your sockets as you drop your chest. That's it. Then walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Thread the needle. Right arm's gonna come out to the side. And then just bring it underneath, grabbing toward those right toes here. Left hand's gonna stay right in front of your nose. And again, if your shoulder feels like it's not supported enough by the floor, you can grab a blanket or a towel, place it underneath. Press into this left hand and roll open. Then press fully down. You're gonna come all the way back up. All right, tuck these right toes under, send your hips back toward your right heel and come onto the left heel here. Yep. Then you're gonna bend this knee in. We're just gonna rock a little bit. You can bring your forearm here, or you can bring your hands to the floor. Just kind of rock this way. Then we're gonna take your hip back to your heel, stretch it out. And then bend in. And again, we're just gonna kind of walk, kind of lean gently over. And then come back and stretch it out. And then you're gonna come on up. Staying on that left heel for a little gate pose. Lower belly draws in and up, tailbone lengthens down. Take your right hand up alongside your ear, stretch up and reach over. And breathe here. Ooh. And then inhale, gonna come upright again, and then take your right hand to the floor, just enough so you can start to lean into that right hand. Fingertips point away from your head. It doesn't make any sense. Press into the outer edge of your foot here, and then take your left arm up and over, and we're just gonna make like a little rainbow. Nice curve. And then stretch up again with that left hand. You can bring your hand to your hip if you want. You're gonna bring your right shoulder over your wrist and float the left leg up. Now it can come up here, it can come up here. It can find any level that feels good to you. Then you're gonna bend this left knee in. You can hold it with the left hand. And you're gonna step it forward. Sink your hips. Lift your chest. Inhale. And when you exhale, drag your hips back. That's it. Rock forward. And pull your hips back. And then rock forward again. You're gonna sink into your lunge. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Uttanasana. Fold here. Press down through your feet. Again, bend your knees if there's too much pull and tug. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale and fold. Press into your feet, inhale. We're gonna come all the way up this time, Urdhva Hastasana. And then bring your hands down through prayer for a moment here. And we're gonna come back and down. Inhale, reach out and up. Stay rooted through your feet. As you exhale, dive over your legs. Smooth sailing down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. We're gonna step it back into downward facing dog. So just walk it back. And take a moment here. We haven't done a ton of these, but we're gonna do another one. Spread your fingers. And even here you can soften your knees if you wanna really focus on lengthening through the sides of your body. That's it. And then you're gonna gaze forward and step your right foot up between your thumbs. And here's where the blocks come in handy. So I'm gonna grab them now. So you've got this right foot up between your thumbs here. And now we're gonna take this left foot and kick it all the way through and come to sit. So the blocks just give you a little more room and a little more security to kick this leg through. And then you can kind of move them to the side for a second. You're gonna drop your right knee out to the side. Keep the left leg active as you inhale, lengthen up, and when you exhale, just bring yourself out and over for Janu Shirshasana. You're gonna try to keep the sides of your body long and the front and your back body long too. I like to think of being stuffed into a toilet paper roll, right? So you get all this cardboard around you so you can't do anything but hinge in the hips. I find that helpful, I don't know. Maybe you will too. Another lengthen here. And this time you can round, curl in, close your eyes and breathe. Peace and quiet. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders and roll yourself up. You're gonna give a soft bend to your left knee. Bring your right leg underneath you a little more and then place your left foot there. And you can grab your blocks, one behind you, one in front, and we're just gonna shift forward again and step your right leg back. So we're in a nice long lunge here. Press into your feet. Inhale, take your arms and reach them up. Crescent lunge. When you exhale, open warrior two. And this can be a really grounding pose. I know it's not the most comfortable thing to hold for long periods of time, so we won't be here too long. But try to feel yourself settle down into your feet. You can even bring your hands to your hips and just work on the foundation of your pose here. Keep your spine long and your gaze steady, wherever it may land. And then you're gonna slide your left forearm down to the top of your left thigh. And your right hand can stay right on your hip. You're gonna start to roll your right rib cage back. Nice long spine here. Take your gaze up if you want. Inhale. And when you exhale, both hands come to the floor to the inside of this left foot. And you're gonna walk through the middle for a little Prasarita Padottanasana. Outer edges of the feet root down, feel your inner thighs roll back. You can close your eyes again and breathe. And then slide your hands underneath your shoulders. You're gonna walk back toward that left foot, pivot. You can keep the blocks nearby, but you're gonna plant your hands and step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into your plank. And when you exhale, drop your knees, hips to your heels. Take a moment here in child's pose. You can make a stack with your hands, with your fists, and breathe. Cultivating again that spaciousness and peace and quiet. All right, and then from here, you're gonna slowly come back up into your table, walk your hands forward, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, down dog. And you're gonna gaze forward and step your left foot up. Help it along if you need to. You're gonna grab these blocks, any level that works for you. One's gonna move back, so the left one can move back a little bit, and we're just gonna kick this right leg through. Get the blocks out of the way, drop your left knee. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, come out and over. Keep the sole of this right foot active. You can use blocks here even if you want it to be more restful, right? You can take your forearms to the blocks. Inhale, and when you exhale, This time you're gonna start to kind of curl in and round. Maybe you can take your forehead to a block. Oh, that feels quite nice. I could stay here forever, but I don't think we should. Okay, slowly, come on back up. All right, so now you're gonna soften this right knee, slide your left leg underneath you. Right hand with the block's gonna come behind you a bit. Left hand stays forward. You gotta push off a bit and then step this left foot back. So we're in our high lunge. Press into your feet. Inhale, come up, find your crescent. Oh. And then we open, find your warrior two. And again, you're gonna work on the foundation of your pose here, right? So feel your feet press into the mat. You can even bring your hands to your hips. It's quite lovely. Take your gaze to the right, focused, but at ease. And then take your right forearm, slide it down the top of your thigh. Roll your right rib cage underneath you. Keep the sides of your body long, the sides of your neck long, and hang here. Inhale. And when you exhale, both hands to the inside of this right foot, you're just gonna walk towards center and Prasarita Padottanasana. Outer edges parallel to the outer edges of the mat, and just hang here. You can send your weight a little bit back toward your heels. And if it's available to you, oh my gosh, that's really nice. You can use the blocks here any way that's possible to give yourself some support for your head. Oh, that's kind of lovely. If you're not into it though, you can, not do it. One more breath. I wish I thought about all these block variations in the first round. Now you're gonna have to go back and do them again. Yeah, it's okay. All right, and then you're gonna get rid of the block if you've got it there. Start to walk yourself back toward this right foot, and you're gonna step it back into downward facing dog. Check out your head, your hips. All right, and then you're gonna take this right knee and just sweep it forward for pigeon. And you can use this block. Oh, it's lovely. If you've got a blanket or a towel nearby, a softer thing might be nicer, but you can take this block underneath your outer hip to help bring a little bit more rest into the pose. Gonna draw the legs gently in without working too hard. Lengthen up. Make sure everything's going okay back there. And then come out and over. And again here, if you want to use the block under your forehead, you absolutely can. We're not going to call it a block anymore. It's just going to be the headrest. If you want to now grab your headrest, you can. Okay. Take another breath. And then we're going to get rid of this block. Roll onto the outer edge of your right hip. So if you've got a prop under there, you're going to slide it out now. And we're just going to take this left leg, swing it up and over. So it steps to the outside of your right knee. If you've got this left hip that's airborne, you can do one of two things. You can sit up on a block under both sitting bones, or you can take this right leg and stretch it out straight. So you're going to lengthen up, wrap around with that right arm, sit as tall as you can, and then just give a nice little spider walk to that left hand. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, wring it out. And let the twist open gently. And then slowly come back through center. You're just going to give yourself a baby counter twist. Okay. And then fold your right ankle in, left one in front. can roll over, however it works for you. We're gonna step back into another down dog just to give your legs a minute to lengthen out, especially that right one. And then take your left leg and just swing that forward. And again, if you want, you can grab this block, place it underneath your sitting bone if that works for you, or anything else that might be a little more soft and cushy. Okay, we're gonna lengthen up and then slowly come out and over. And again, you can use this lovely headrest prop thing that I have today invented. And breathe. Again, cultivating that peace and quiet. All right. Slide your hands underneath you. Come on up. One more little bit. You're going to roll onto this outer left hip. Swing the right leg around. Again, if you need to, you can extend this left leg out if that makes this feel more comfortable. You can keep the leg folded in. I'm gonna go for this variation on this side so you can see what it looks like. And you're gonna wrap around with your left hand, sit as tall as you can, and then start to walk your right hand behind you. Feel your low back drift in and up. And wring it out. You can keep your right sitting bone rooted, press down through your right foot. It. And then come back through the middle and give yourself that gentle counter twist to the left. And then stretch your legs out in front. And for just a moment here, we're going to lay back. If you want to place something underneath your knees, blocks or the softer thing. And just let yourself lay out. Relax. And breathe. And I know it gets harder as we get closer to the closing of class. You get into this pose and you know it's almost done, right? So then your mind starts churning out the next thing. Next and next and next. But see if you can stay here and just be with your breath for these next few moments. Give yourself just a little more time for peace and quiet. And please feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. When you're ready to come out, you're going to deepen your breath. Move your fingers, wiggle your toes, and draw your knees in one at a time. Come to rest on your right side and then use the strength of your arms to press you up. Find a comfortable seat. As you work your way there, try to keep your eyes closed, your gaze inward, or at least soft. Take a moment here while you settle in to your Sukhasana, your comfortable seat. Breathe. Hopefully you feel like you have a little more space in your mind and in your body. Bring your palms together bow your head, and thank yourself for taking the time, for carving out a bit of peace and quiet in the midst of what is possibly a hectic life. I love spending time with you guys, so thanks so much. I appreciate you practicing with me. I look forward to practicing with you again. Have a great day, guys.